There, now we've recorded share for others. That's what happens. You forget these things. June birthdays, those who aren't with us, Brian Griefey on the 5th, Galen Roden on the 15th, or 14th, Jeanette Shersar on the 25th, but two that are with us, Jim Campbell on the 10th and Patrick Bradley on the 11th. So, happy birthday to you two fine gentlemen. We won't sing over Zoom. It's hard enough to sing when we're together, but.
Where's the song?
Yeah, should we sing? I'm all for singing.
You need to lip sync.
Believe me, choir rehearsals. I've done choir rehearsals and other things on Zoom. You do not want to even try.
We're bad under good circumstances. And then moving on to anniversaries. Brian Griefey, 3 years. I'm happy to celebrate 5 years. Matt Rowe, 11. Rebecca Pilgrim, 18. John Eldred with 20 with our club, and Bitsy Hoffman with 30 years. So congratulations to all of those fine folks. And with that, there's not a whole lot of business, club business to update, although, Deb, we have an induction today.
Yes, I am. If you will look at your screen, Anne, would you wave your hands? Anne Herda-Rapp is with UW Stevens Point at Wausau. She has been nominated and accepted into our club. And Mr. Beck, are you available to do the little speech?
Hey there, how you doing, Ann? Ann, it's great to see you. Yeah, I just had a little lunch I needed to finish here. So, anyway, it's so great to bring you into the club, and thank you so very much. We know you'll bring a lot, and hopefully we can help you with a few things. There isn't sort of like a pledge or anything, but there are a couple things that I've sort of been. I just think it's a kind of good thing to underscore right now, and maybe just kind of ongoing things. So you've heard of service above self, right? That's kind of the motto that we like to talk about. I want to take that just a step further in our mission, and because I'm not sure we necessarily think about that all the time, but our Rotary mission overall, we provide service to others, promote integrity, and advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through our fellowship of business, professional, and community leaders. There's a lot in that, right? Obviously, there's a lot of stuff, but it means there's 1.2 million members and 35,000 clubs worldwide. We're all about promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water, supporting youth, and feeding the hungry. The three things that I think collectively we would wish for you as a new member is to get involved, and there are lots of ways. We're going to talk a lot about scholarships here, but that's a big way. Getting acquainted with people. I mean, we have a great membership. They do so many different things. And really, really great, and really, get to know Rotary. It's just an extraordinary organization, international works that are just really off the charts. So I'm going to kind of end it there, but we usually ask, and I presume Deb maybe gave you kind of a flair, but just kind of ask a little bit of you to talk to us about your background and a little bit about you, and so we can kind of start that process. So thank you so much, and welcome. So,
Anne, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I have been a professor here at this campus since 1998, which means I'm getting a little long in the tooth, but and have been teaching sociology that whole time. Last 2 years, I moved into a new position here as the campus executive. So I know several of the Rotary folks through that work as well. But there's also, I think, just the Rotary mission, I've been involved in lots of other organizations in Wausau over time, Neighbor's Place included. There's a kinship to service. And I taught the global social problems class here for many years. So that sort of, the work of Rotary fits with just my own, personal perspective and professional perspective as well. So thank you for taking me.
I will be getting your pin and everything to you in the next week or so. As this COVID thing has been difficult, but we'll get all your materials to you very shortly. I'm so happy you joined.
Thank you.
After this week, she'll have to rewrite her course.
There's nothing like
Sean,
a
point of
pandemic.
question, Sean. Are we foregoing the invocation?
We had, but if somebody, because I didn't think anybody was assigned or had been assigned.
Yeah, I am.
Oh.
That's why I'm asking if we're foregoing it because we're not eating.
At this point, unless you'd like to deliver one, Jim. But
I would.
okay, please go ahead then.
I want to see everybody's eyes closed because I can see every one of you. Okay. Let's pray. May we who are merely inconvenienced remember those whose lives are at stake. May we who have no risk factors remember those who are most vulnerable. May we who have the luxury of working from our home remember those who must choose between preserving their health or making their rent. May we who have the flexibility to care for our children when their schools close remember those who have no options. May we who have to cancel our trips remember those who have no place to go. May we who are losing our margins on our money in this economic market remember those who have no margin at all. May we who settle for a quarantine at home remember those among us that have no home. During this time when we cannot physically wrap our arms around each other, let us find ways to give a loving embrace of God to our friends and neighbors. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Jim. That was great and well said in these challenging times. And so with that, I will turn it over to Mr. Bradley for Sergeant at Arms, but I will at first find myself $1 for failing to look at the assignments and see that somebody was actually assigned for the invocation. So there you go. The first $1 is there, Patrick.
Thank you, Sean. Well, I'm not prepared to give any quizzes today or test you on the most recent Rotarian magazine. Let's just start off with happy dollars. Are there any happy dollars from the gallery?
I'm just going to put a happy $1 out there, Patrick, just to put a happy $1 out there. It's a great day to be alive. And there is a guy in a hazmat suit on the front of the Rotary magazine, by the way. So
I think he's right there.
Yeah. Well done.
Any other happy dollars? And if there's more than one, just raise your hand. Are there any sad dollars?
I'll throw in a happy $1, and since it's all play money, right? So I've got my youngest, my daughter and son-in-law. They live in St. Paul. They're fairly new to the city, right? And so they've encountered this this huge change and the protest and the resulting damage and there's initial fear, obviously, that but she called the other day and she was down helping clean up some of the damage, helping sort of prepare for in case they were hiding or putting up fire extinguishers and filling up, barrels with water. I mean, sort of helping out in the community. And I was just really proud of her. And even though I'm thankful that she and her husband are safe, but that she's reaching out to her community and helping in a prospective way, and probably then also did some walking and protests as well. But she's gotten involved in that, and as a dad, I'm really happy about that.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing, Mike. Any other happy or sad dollars? Yes, John.
I'll throw in 10. 8 for our 8 scholarship recipients. It's wonderful to have had the chance to get to know them on paper. Now wonderful to get a chance to see them in person, although virtual person. And the other 2 I would offer, one would be for our guest today, Sue Nelson, who is tremendous, and we'll introduce her in a minute. And of course, Jennifer coming from the Early Bird Club. So welcome, and it's as Andrew said, it's a great day to be alive with all these wonderful things to talk about.
Great, thank you. Okay, with that, I turn it back over to you, Mr. President.
I will offer a happy dollar before we move on. I see sneaking into the Sue Nelson's frame there are our fellow Rotarian Jean Tien. And if you didn't see the news last week, Jean announced her retirement as the leader of the Community Foundation after an incredible run as the CEO of that organization. So congrats to you on a well-deserved retirement. And
Sue, if you wanted to add something, you need to unmute. Oh, there you go.
There you are.
Okay, thank you, everyone. This is Jean, and I would like to put in an extremely happy $32. Happy dollars for the 32 years that I have served here at the Community Foundation. It's just been such a privilege to do the work I do with wonderful people, our staff, our board, our donors, our community. It's just an incredible opportunity that I've had. So a happy $32, and thank you.
Thanks, Jean.
Thank you.
All right, I turn it back over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Patrick. And we are thrilled today to have our scholarship recipients with us. It's one of the best things we do as a club, and it's wonderful to see representation from all of the local high schools. And, you know, I have come across some of these students in other areas or through Youth Rotars, and it's really an amazing group of students once again. So with that, John, I'll let you take it away.
Thanks, Sean. Well, welcome everybody again. Welcome to our scholars. It's nice to see you in person versus all the communications we've done in mail and emails over the last several weeks. And first thing I'd like to do is introduce the scholarship committee. I see that Joe is online here someplace. There you are, Joe. And I don't think Carl Drake is online today, but he and I and Joe and Sue Nelson from the Community Foundation constitute your current 2020 year club scholarship committee. Sue, of course, represents the Community Foundation, who is the special guardian of the Rotary Club's scholarship funds and play a vital role in administering those funds and helping us in the selection. And for the students, I know you probably also experienced your virtual presentations for scholarships over the course of the last couple of weeks. We're sorry we couldn't be there in person to explain or to pass out to you our scholarship, but I know you got a letter from us and the invitation to come here to meet the club and talk about yourself as well. And we're happy to have you here in this interesting new format that we have. So what's unique about our club in some ways is that unlike many of the scholarships which are selected through the resources each school has, our Rotary Club forms its own committee to look through the applications, some 40 plus applications that we look through and consider for our scholarship the important criteria of a student's background in community service and volunteer work both in the community and in the school, as well as leadership experience both in the community and the school as well. So those go along with what many of you heard a minute ago is Rotary's theme of service above self, which is why we focus that criteria for scholarships for our club. So that's a little bit about who the committee is this year so far. And of course, for some of the new members of our club, we're always happy to expand that group. Jim Campbell is a long-standing member. In fact, he goes back to the beginning, I think, Jim, when the scholarship might have been created by the club many years ago. And we're happy that the club has been able to sustain that, along with, I might need to add, normally each year the club offers 5 scholarships, now currently at the rate of $1,000. But in the last several years, we have been blessed by a donor, an anonymous donor, who has provided us with 3 more scholarship opportunities for students. So instead of 5 that we're awarding this year, it's 8, and we've done that for the last couple. And tremendous thanks to that special anonymous donor who makes that possible. Obviously, they feel strongly about the importance of helping you youth move forward and be successful in your education and career. So what we have done, and I hope all of you received at least the document that showed the picture of each of our scholars, the school, the listing of their parents, and thanks to Jim Campbell as well for posting that document on our Facebook page as well as our web page for the scholarship page, so that people looking at our scholarship have an idea that this really happens, are real people who receive this scholarship. So that's really special, Jim. Thanks so much for that. We have communicated with each of the scholars a little outline of what we hope each of them can use to address themselves to the club, to talk a little bit about themselves, talk about their experience with their school, what they've done, that is their background, and then what are their future education and career plans? Where do they want to go? And then you might expand a little bit about some of the things that you've done volunteer-wise and leadership-wise that helped us select you as a candidate and a scholarship recipient. So I'm just going to jump in. I'm not sure if I've been able to tally if everybody's been able to make it here. There may be at least one that I have yet to see step in, but if I could start with Rachel Hartman. Rachel, can you wave? There you are up there. And I know that you may have had a couple of parents willing to join you, but in any event, if you wouldn't mind going through that little outline and introducing yourself, your parents, and some of the things we just talked about so we can get more acquainted with you.
Hi, yeah, thank you so much. It is an honor to get the scholarship, and Rotary Club has really given me a different perspective on the community and potential career paths, so thank you. As John said, my name is Rachel Hartman. And my parents are on this call as well. I'm actually babysitting right now, so they're on a different device. But Paul and Elisa Hartman are down on the, yeah, there they are. Okay. And I attend Wausau West High School. And next year I plan to go to the University of St. Thomas in St. Paul, Minnesota, with a major in marketing management. And then some of my past community service and volunteer work that I've done. This past year, I was the president of Wausau West DECA. So this allowed for a lot of different opportunities for myself. I worked especially with Make-A-Wish Wisconsin, where I headed a fundraiser for a local boy. And we held a big event with DC Everest DECA, called Swish for a Wish, and we raised a bunch of money, and we were able to get some businesses together to sponsor this boy. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to go to his wish to the spring training this spring due to this pandemic, but he should be going next year. And then also I worked with DECA and our NHS Society at West to create a poverty simulation this past year. So that was one of the things I wrote about in my scholarship application. And that was something we worked with the Wausau Warming Center, and we created a poverty simulation, which Wausau School District already has in place, but we brought that to Wausau West students. We had over 80 participants. So that was really cool to see that happen.
Great. Welcome to your parents as well. I see them now down at the bottom there at a different location. So thanks, Rachel. Appreciate it. All right. Is Morgan Shorey there? I think, Morgan, are you listed under a different name there? Were you listed?
Yeah, I'm under my mom's name.
There you go. I didn't see that. I saw Sandy, then I recognized you. So welcome. Maybe you can go through the same information for us, please.
Yeah, so this is a huge honor. Thank you so much. And this is my mom, Sandy, and my dad, Rob, is working, so he wasn't able to be on this call. But I went to DC Everest, and in the fall, I plan on attending W. Eau Claire. And right now, I'm kind of undecided, but I'm kind of interested in being like a dietitian with a focus on working with kids. So it's been my passion to work with kids. And I was the co-president of Key Club this past year, which gave me lots of opportunities like blood drives and leaflet raking for people around the community. And I was also in cross-country, dance, track and field, fall musicals, which gave me lots of opportunities to work for like community runs and like Green Heights Fieldhouse Fun Days and stuff like that. And I was also a youth rotor for the Rotary Club. So I was able to attend a few meetings during that month, which opened a good perspective of getting to see like the behind the scenes of what happens in our community, which is really nice.
Great, thank you so much. Welcome to your mom. And I know that all the parents here need to have a great big round of applause for their support for their son and daughter. They obviously make a huge difference, and we can tell that the influence of your upbringing on them has made a huge difference in the kinds of people that we see. We're really humbled by the wonderful experience and the efforts that are carried out by your sons and daughters. Morgan Forbes, I think you're here with us too, aren't you? There you are. Welcome.
Yes, I am. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate this generous scholarship so much. So like you said, I am Morgan Forbes. These are my parents.
Everybody remembers?
This is my mom, Trish, and this is my dad, Bill. And this year, these past 4 years, I have attended Wausau East High School. And some things that I participated at Wausau East High School in was DECA, which I really enjoyed doing. It gave me a really interesting scope on the business world, and we did a lot of fun events with DECA, and I have been the captain of the Wausau East girls swim team for 2 years, as well as I have played piano since I've been very little. Some future education and career plans that I have, I plan to attend UWSP at Wausau next year, and following that, I hope to go on to UW-Madison, and I will be majoring in biochemistry, and I hope to one day pursue a career in the medical field. Currently, I am working as a CNA on the post-surgical care unit at Aspire's Wausau Hospital. So that is helping me to get a foot in the door and get acclimated to the medical world, and I'm really enjoying it so far. A quick summary of some past community service and volunteering events that I have participated in or played key roles would be, I have organized a Veterans Day pancake breakfast at Bunkers for a few years in a row, I believe 3 years, and I've also incorporated that into a fundraiser, which we did for the Wausau East Girls Swim Team this past year. So that was really fun to get the community involved in a school event while also honoring those veterans. I have participated in a Night to Shine dance for numerous years, as well as many community dinners throughout my childhood and to now. I have volunteered at the Mount Gardens Luminary Walks a few times, as well as was the Easter Bunny 1 year, which was really fun and kind of unique during their Easter egg hunt. I have also participated in volunteering at the YMCA father-daughter dance that they've had, as well as I have been very active in the organization Peyton's Promise. I have been able to be an advocate board member for the past 2 years, and I've really enjoyed doing all the fun activities that they have. And it has given me so many opportunities to connect with the community and impact many people throughout my school district. And it has been it was one of the most special moments was when my fellow advocate and I were able to do a fundraiser at Wausau East High School and raise $500 for our school community that went back directly to the students in our school who needed it most. And so that is just a little summary about me. Again, I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. It's really such an honor.
Wow, thank you, Sue. Thank you very much as well. Just a note, just 2 weeks ago, by the way, Morgan, we had Peyton's mom and two of your fellow advocates from DC Everest also present here to the club. So they did hear about Peyton's Promise just very recently.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, special. Annika, I think you're here among us as well, aren't you? There you are.
Hi.
Greeting you and your parents.
Yeah. I'm Annika, and this is my mom, Rachel, and my dad, Noel. I went to Wausau West High School, and I participated in a lot of different community service-based events, like through NHS or the golf team fundraisers or other school events. I also participated in a lot of different charity races where I ran different tables and things like that. I tutored 3rd through 5th graders at Franklin Elementary School and also helped run after-school programs and community meal nights. I also volunteered through my church and helped with serving meals and running fundraisers, as well as managing donations and doing different community work through mission trips. And I've also been a mentor for the Central Wisconsin Children's Theater's Penguin Project for the past 4 years. And as a mentor, I get paired with a student ages 8 to 21 with mental and or physical disabilities to help them sing, dance, and act in a musical each year. In the fall, I will be attending Augustana University in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, to major in education with a minor in modern languages, which will be German and Spanish.
Very good, very nice. Nice to have you and your parents both join us. Thank you. Julia, I think you were here as well. Good to see you.
Hi, I'm here. Thank you. Like you said, my name is Julia, and this past 4 years I've attended Newman Catholic High School. These are my parents, Scott and Jenny. And next year, my plans are to attend UW La Crosse and major in exercise science, and then continue on to grad school in either chiropractic or physical therapy. Also at La Crosse, I'll be playing college basketball there, and that's one of the big passions that I've participated in throughout high school, and then, like I said, continuing in the next 4 years. Some other things that I've been part of are National Honor Society treasurer and student council president, along with some other clubs through school. And through those clubs, I've been able to participate in a lot of community service activities, such as Big Brothers Big Sisters and the Jubilee House. And also some other things that I've been part of are New Life Pet Adoption Center. I volunteer there, and a lot of different tutoring through my school. I've been a teacher's assistant for our math teacher, and I've tutored a lot of different students from that regard as well. Some other things I've participated in are NCIS, which is a week-long volunteer activity in the summertime where we go to different churches and different organizations around the city and volunteer for a whole week. I've also participated in a mission trip in the past and helped rebuild houses and renovate them. Some other things through basketball is I've done a lot of youth camps with young basketball players, and I've also, this past year with our basketball team, we gathered like a donation for a hospital house for people who are visiting relatives that have nowhere to stay, and we put together a basket and donated that to them as well. And thank you so much for everything that you do for this community and for awarding these scholarships. We really appreciate it.
Great, thank you so much for presenting. We are excited to see all of you and the contributions that you make. They're probably just hitting the highlights of the things that we viewed on their applications. It's pretty amazing. Is Elsa here with us today? I know that she had hoped to be here. No, maybe not, maybe later. And Jada, I think you are among those present here. I think I see right in the middle of my screen, so welcome.
Hi everyone, my name is Jada Hines and I've been attending Newman Catholic High School for the past 4 years. Thank you so much for this scholarship. It has really opened my eyes and inspired me to how I want to and will incorporate service into my future. I have my dad, Corey, with me here, and in the fall I plan on attending Winona State University in Minnesota to become a nurse. And I will maybe minor in Spanish as well because I intend to study abroad at some point. So I've been involved in many of our schools' clubs, including National Honor Society, campus ministry, and ambassadors. And I was also the Key Club president this year. And I thought that was a great opportunity because I was able to get every single one of our members an active member in both our school and community, which was really cool to see the growth of our club. So I've also, outside of school, I've taken 2 mission trips, one to Tennessee where I was able to fix up a bunch of houses, and one this past summer to the Casa Hogar Orphanage in Peru, where we were able to give free dental care to the children there and just fix up some of their facilities there, which is really, really neat. So.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I think we have our one sole gentleman recipient here with us now. Jesse, welcome.
Hello.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm Jesse Frolic. This is my mother, Amy. I'm from DC Everest. And next year, I plan on going to the University of Wisconsin-Madison to major in biology on a pre-med track, and then after go into the medical career, hopefully. As for community service, within the school, I'm part of the band, and I've been working as a section leader for the past 2 years, and working with directing the band and setting up events and stuff like that, as well as being part of National Honor Society and a few academic clubs like Science Olympiad and History Bowl. But outside of the school, most of my community service revolves around Boy Scouts because I am a very active Boy Scout. I just am finishing on my Eagle project right now. But within the Scouts, one of the things that I'm most proud of is for the past 3 years, I've been working volunteering for the National Youth Leadership Training, which is a week-long course that helps young kids in Scouts learn leadership skills, communication skills, and other applicable skills for Scouts and leading in Scouts. And it's been a big part for me, even being the youth director last year for my troop. And then besides Scouts, Chalk Fest Wausau is a big community event that I have been participating in and volunteering at for like 10 years now because my mother is the founder, and I love going out there and helping direct those kind of community events. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for the scholarship.
Wonderful. Thanks to all of you. It's truly an inspiration for those of us that sit on the committee and spend time reading those applications. And of course, Brad Peck, who's also here with us, is another original member on the committee who recalls originally when we had, what, Brad, about 8 inches thick of paper that you produced for us to review all the applications and study them. And now thanks to, and one more pitch to Sue Nelson here at the foundation who helped us automate this on the Community Foundation website, which makes it eminently easier, I hope, for the students as well to enter the application online and for the committee to be able to look at that and do our grading. And then of course we meet separately and make those important choices. You know, of the 40 people or so that we see, there's so many that have tremendous contributions they make to our community. It's just truly amazing, humbling, and inspiring to see the kind of contributions all of you make. And so today, Rotary Club of Wausau members, you are seeing what we consider to be the cream of the crop of Wausau's class of 2020. So we certainly congratulate you all and we wish you the very, very best. And as our youth Rotary leader, Brad Peck, always says, please consider Rotary, come back and visit us, say hello to us, drop in when you come back for summers. The door is always open. We're anxious to hear how you're doing and what's become of you. It's pretty special. So I would open it up to any members. Thanks, Brad. Any members of the club who might have any questions for these students. I guess the only individual we'd hope to have join us was Elsa Hahn, who's also a Newman Catholic High School recipient as well. So we did pretty well with 7 of our 8 recipients and many of their parents being able to join us. We have a great deal of appreciation for you parents who spend an awful lot of time inspiring and leading and guiding your children, and it certainly shows in the likes of the kinds of people that we have selected and the kinds of things that they've done. We're so pleased and proud that you're a part of the Rotary family by virtue of these scholarships. Any members have any questions for any of our recipients? Or Joe, one of our club members, is a committee member as well. I see Patrick Bradley has a question or a thought.
Well, I don't necessarily have a question, but I just wanted to share with the scholarship recipients that this is one of the most memorable meetings for me, because it's really neat to see not only how much you have accomplished in your high school career, but it'll be exciting to see what you accomplish moving forward. So best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Any other thoughts or questions, Joe?
Yeah, I guess this would just be a question for any of the recipients, but what would you say led to your desire to, be such a strong advocate for others and to put service over yourself? Would you attribute that to something in particular that you can remember? Is there anything that stands out for any one of you guys?
Any takers on that question?
I guess just like encouragement of others, like groups like Rotary and things like that we're allowed to get involved in, that push us to be a better version of ourselves. And there's so many different opportunities within all of our schools that just make school a better place to be, I think, when you're involved and can feel like you have a part in something.
Good point.
I'd have to agree with Rachel. Just like all of the things in our community and in our upbringings, like my parents have obviously brought me up to care for others. And I think our schools and the different organizations in the community have also been a huge part in that. And we've been surrounded by people who have been very selfless and who have given their time to others. So to be surrounded by that, you just kind of grow up seeing it, and then you want to be part of that as well. I think also, like, I owe a lot of credit to Newman and like the school systems, like the elementary schools and middle school that I went to, that like really encouraged faith development and helping others and treating others like you want to be treated. And I think that's also influenced me a lot, and to have friends around me that were also volunteering and doing many other things as well.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree too with the schools. I know at Everest we have a lot of opportunities to sign up for things to do, and especially a lot of the sports I was active in gave me a lot of opportunities to reach out to my community, and also everyone encouraging around me. I know I always looked up to everyone who was older than me and wanted to kind of follow their path and help others as well.
Thank you, Morgan.
I think a lot of it has to do with seeing other family members. Like my grandparents are all very heavily active in their communities, and so I've seen growing up how much of an impact you can have on your community. And like everyone else said, this just different ways you can be active in your school, and there's a lot of ways to give back that can also be fun to do, and so it just kind of comes naturally.
Super.
A big part of my investment in community service and things like that has been my mother, who's always advocated for community service and volunteering, but also being a part of the Boy Scouts has sent me into a lot of volunteer opportunities. and has inspired me to want to give back as much as I can, especially to services that have given so much to me, like the community and Boy Scouts and my school. So yeah.
Great, thank you. Well, once again, thank you all so very much. We are proud of you. We're excited. It's special to put the faces that we see and the people on paper and the faces together with you, and to bring you in front of the members of the Rotary Club of Wausau and some of the visitors we have with us. And one more shout out there to Sue Nelson for her help, who behind the scenes does a tremendous amount to bring this information to all the schools, and to, of course, manage the website and do all the work behind the scenes that makes it possible for our club's committee to work with her and then making the selection. And of course, to all the Rotarians in the club here for your generosity and giving dollars to our scholarship fund. This is the payoff. This is the return on investment. And we're so excited and proud of you. And thanks to your parents as well for all of you who have joined. And I'll turn it back to you, Sean.
Thank you, John. You know, I think Patrick said it. This is probably my favorite meeting each year, to hear all the amazing things that all of you are doing. And congratulations. I know it's been a very strange and different spring 2020 than you were expecting, but you're all going to go on to do amazing things. And yes, please come back and visit us, because we owe you a lunch at the least, you know, that we weren't able to provide today. But, you know, thanks. Congratulations on all you've done. We look forward to seeing, you know, what is to come. And thanks to the scholarship committee. They have some hard choices and have to devote a lot of work. So John, thanks to you for your leadership, and Joe and others who've served, Jim and Carl and Brad through the years. And, you know, and thanks to all of you who participated in some shape or form in the reindeer run. This was a, you know, that helps fund these scholarships as well. So thanks to, you know, to Mike Beck and all the others who were part of the sponsorship committee. And, you know, those, as John said, this is the payoff to get to see all of these amazing young people and know that they're headed on to great things in their lives and their career. And hopefully they, you know, will, as Brad Peck always likes to say, they won't forget about us, and they'll be Rotarians and give back through Rotary one of these days. So with that, thanks everybody for a great meeting, and welcome to the club. You know, it was great to have you. It's great to have you as a member, you know, and we're glad that you've joined us, and we look forward to joining you in person as well. And thanks to our guests, thanks to Sue, of course, for all the work that she does with us. Thanks, Jennifer, for joining us, and thanks for all the work that you've done in conjunction with our club on the hunger grant that John helped lead and get funded through the district grant. We really appreciate the partnership with the early birds. So, you know, this is good things all around in a challenging time. But thanks to all of you for your work.
Sean, I just maybe would end, maybe if you'd permit, with an invitation to any of the parents of the Youth Rotaries, anytime you would like to join us, especially at the time when we begin to meet back in person and get more acquainted with Rotary. We're a wide, diverse group of professionals and others throughout the community, and be more than welcome to get a deeper experience with us if you'd like, just as Ann did here, who just joined us, and somehow she was invited in to say hello and decided to join. So we're happy with that. And also for all of you scholars, you see Sue Nelson there in your screen. She's the one that in your letter you'll be communicating with in terms of how to obtain the funds for your scholarship. I hope you did receive that letter, and it gives you those instructions as to how to reach Sue. Any questions, just give her a ring and contact her. She's very available and friendly and helpful. And we wish you all the best for your upcoming school year. I hope you can do that in person and not have to start virtually, but time will tell.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, and definitely, parents, we'd love to see you as we join in person. You know, it's a great organization, and we owe you a lunch as well. And you've got kids going to college, so we know you can use a free lunch. So, you know, and you've raised outstanding young individuals, so it's the least we can do to give back. So thanks again. Thanks to John, to Sue for their leadership, and thanks to all of you for joining us. I know it's a strange way to be recognized as a scholarship recipient, but we're really glad you did. So with that, we will end this meeting and continue the rest of our week with the 4-way test. Of the things we think,
say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
So as great as that is, Deb was right. Us not singing is probably the best thing we did today, other than meeting these great recipients. So thanks again, everybody. Congratulations to all the recipients. Best wishes to you, and we'll see everybody else next week.
Thank you.
Have a great week, everybody.